All right, we will call the meeting to order for February 18th, 2025. And our first call of order here is approve the agenda. Are there any changes or corrections?
Yes, Mr. Chair, under Tim Erickson, you can remove item number 9. And following the meeting at our work session, Dave Rush added an item, participation in a cooperative regional C&D waste planning process and grant. We are starting with Resolution 25-14 today.
Thank you, Lene.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
All right. Any questions? If not, Lene, please.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way, Meyer, Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All righty, then we'll go and approve draft minutes of January 21, 2025 regular meeting. Thank you, Charlie.
I will second.
Thank you, Tim. All righty, any other questions? Any? Lene, please.
Way, Meyer, Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, Chuck Wenzel, you are up front here.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
My daughter Michelle is in the back there. She is our media person
Okay.
that handles all of our social media stuff. She's on the board of the chamber and part of the leadership group that's here this morning. So not too many years from now, you'll be seeing her face instead of my face, I hope. But this is
No, it's okay.
But this is our 17th summer coming up on the
Wow.
courthouse lawn,
Okay.
so you know how far that takes us back. So
Yep.
we appreciate the teamwork that we've had over the years, and hope we can continue it on for many more into the future.
Certainly. All right. Well, it's an action item. Board's wishes.
I make a motion to approve the application for the Red Willow Art to have the concert on the courthouse lawn.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Tim. Any other questions?
I got a question.
All right.
Mr. Chair. Chuck,
Yes.
you're having one on the 3rd and the 4th of July?
Yes, yes.
Back to back.
We have, the Thursday is the 3rd, and so it would be a regular concert night. When, going back to when we had the Thursday on the 4th, several years ago, everybody said, because we do a kind of a patriotic thing on the 4th and honor our veterans, and so everybody said, that's a great idea, you should do that every year. So we've been doing a concert on the 4th for several years. So yes, there will be 2 nights back to back.
Thank you.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, I make that motion to, with that addition.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's fine. All right.
was
We're
on
covered.
That was-
And Lene, please.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yep. Thank you. All right, Jessica Patter and Neil Powers. Just one today?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Thank you.
My name is Jessica Paler, and I am a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service employee. I'm a realty specialist there. And unfortunately, our project manager, Neil Powers, he could not attend today. He sends his apologies. So I will do my best to answer any of your questions.
Okay.
I am here today seeking certification on a tract of land in Section 32 and Section 33 of Millerville Township. Our landowner is very interested in conserving his property for future use with the wildlife habitat preservation. He is going to own the property still. He will pay property taxes still on the property. And we will restore the property back to native grasses and the wetlands that were previously on the land in the past. He will be allowed to hay the property after July 15th every year. And he is excluding a part of the property to build on in the future. If you have any questions, I'd love to take them.
Can you define the acreage that's involved there?
So the map I gave you was just our rough outline with 75 acres. It'll actually be just 62 acres with our final survey that we'll come up with. And we will respect the setback distances of the highway and any other easements that are already on the property.
All right, 62. Tom, did you get that?
Yeah, which acres?
It's going to be 62.
62 acres.
Yes.
That wasn't stated.
Sorry.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, is this in perpetuity again, or is there a limit?
This
Can we
easement,
get it?
this
Have you
easement.
guys looked at all in 25-year renewals, or?
No, this easement will stay on the land forever. So once it's.
That's my problem. I don't think we should be making decisions for 8 generations down the road or 100 generations down the road.
Yep, and this
And I
land
think
has.
these all should be set up as renewable every 20 or 25 years.
And at this moment, this is how our easement program is set up. It is.
I know, I've had this
easements.
conversation with the previous.
Yep. And Neil
Wildlife
Powers, he's, he works with landowners who want to work with him. He doesn't ever force anybody to ever want to work with him who don't want to work with him.
No, I get it, the landowner today.
Yep.
Yep.
And if he would sell it, it goes on to the new owner.
It goes on to the new owner, but
they-
this family has not sold it for many
I
generations.
I realize.
Yep.
Yep. And to Charlie's point, and I can only look so far in the future myself, because we don't know what 100 years is going to be like from now. But for it to be forever, I do see a problem with that. And if we, all I can say, if we keep voting yes every time, no one's going to listen. That's the problem. No one's going to listen. If we keep doing this and we say, honest to gosh, a 25-year renewal to me makes perfect sense that, things change. Things change. I mean, our climate changes, the way people farm changes. That's my concern.
Mr. Chair, as you and I have discussed it before, and it's the truth, we look at the battle we have now with our ditches, because our ditch system was developed over 100 years ago. And it's really,
It won't change it.
no, and we know the ag industry in our county is more of a wetland industry.
And egg is very important. I
Well, it
respect that.
is, but
Yep.
it's not as important as our wetland. We know that, clean water and everything else, but the ditch system was put in to protect ag.
Yep.
Okay? So that's the battle you have also,
And-
getting
and-
land set aside for wildlife.
And this land with the native grasses that will be restored will help infiltrate water better and will help retain more water and will actually hold more water from the neighboring farmers. So those farmers won't be flooding as much. So this goes hand in hand with farmers' land.
Yeah,
It helps them.
I don't disagree with that, but we're saying we do the greatest at it today, and we know in the future there should be getting smarter and wiser on how to do things, but we're eliminating that from happening with perpetuity things instead of going with a renewal system.
And like you say,
It's not I know it's not yours, you can relay it though.
Yep, someday it might change, but right now that's all our policy
Yep.
is.
Can it be pastured?
He chose to just do hay only, but he could have.
He could have
He
asked for
could have
that.
chose for the grazing, but he chose for haying only.
So, if somebody purchased that in the future, and again, like I said, we don't know what 25 years is going to be like.
It's done now.
I know.
Guy in the future got no hope.
I know it. Because of our concerns, I honestly would make a motion to table this because I think they need to hear us loud and clear. And you're just you come here to tell us what's going on, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. But the people that make these decisions, that's 100 years, that won't listen, I think they have to be a little more understanding as to why we are thinking that we can't think forever. We just, like Charlie says, county road ditches, done 125 years ago, and they do one thing, and that's move water from point A to point B as fast as possible, and we know today that that's wrong, and yet it hasn't changed. So I'm just saying, that's how I looked at it.
Mr. Chair, I got a question. On wetland number 4 that runs along County Road 16, was the county engineer talked to about that to find out how far back that water has to be?
Our surveyor should have coordinated and talked to the county engineer. If there is any concerns that the county engineer has, I would ask that he reach out to us and we will address them and fix any concerns that he may have.
Because I know we've run into problems before where they use the inslope on the road to hold water, and that doesn't work because then the road starts getting soft. And I
Yep.
just wanted,
But we should respect those easements and those setback distance that are already on land. We should be respecting that too, and we always do. So if there is an issue, we will fix it.
okay.
Mr. Chair, I got a question. So moving forward, what would it take for us to get it set up that we could do a 25-year re-evaluation, or what is the process? Is that act of Congress, or I don't?
Yeah, that's
We've brought it up many
higher up.
times.
That's higher up. That's out of our, that's not regional, that we don't set that. That is
So you're saying we'd
national.
have to go up higher to try and get that passed?
Yes, that has to go all the way to the top.
Is that DNR?
No, we are not DNR. We are U.S. Fish and
But
Wildlife.
who's the
This is
top?
US Wildlife. This
Okay,
is
so DNR doesn't get involved at all?
No, we are Department of Interior, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. This goes all the way up to people in Washington D.C. who set the
Yeah.
rules.
Would like to talk to him.
Well, there's a motion.
I made that motion, and like Tim had a question there about the road ditch that sounded like there's a clarification.
If there is an issue.
If there is an
We
issue.
should always respect that when the surveyor
Yep,
is done.
yep.
So I can verify with the surveyor, make sure that everything is correct, but we should be respecting the setback distances.
Yeah, because Tim isn't here right now. Otherwise, we could ask him, but he isn't scheduled till later.
I'd second Jerry's motion then, and to the next meeting, and that's only a couple weeks away.
Okay. I will try and make sure that Neil Powers is available to attend.
All right.
No disrespect to you by any means, just so you understand, that isn't it. It's the idea of, us making, my personal problem is making these decisions in perpetuity is just not the way to go. Because I know there's smarter people coming, put it that way. We're hoping. Well, maybe I know there's smarter ones. They're gonna sit here someday, that's for damn sure. Okay.
Call for the question.
So, Lene?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you. All right, next, Ryan Lubin. Is there a Ryan Lubin out there for West Central Ag Air? No?
This is where Robin wants to talk.
Yeah. I tell you what, Robin, we're gonna wait, maybe he's gonna show up here. And it's not 9:16, so we're gonna jump to Troy. Wolverson, our county sheriff.
Good morning.
Morning, Troy.
I have 3 items today. The first item is a donation in the amount of $150. It is from James and Darla Brink, and they'd like that money designated for our canine program. So I'd ask the board to accept the donation.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2514.
Thank you, Charlie.
I second that.
Thank you, Jeff. Anybody have any questions? If not, Lene, please.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item is a joint powers agreement between the West Central Minnesota Drug Task Force and the state of Minnesota. What it is, it's reimbursement for overtime accumulated during methamphetamine investigations. And so it's a 5-year agreement. And there isn't really a cap dollar amount on it, but there is kind of a handshake agreement on because it's divided throughout the state. So if we meet a certain dollar amount, we'll just have to apply for more money. But at this point, it's simply reimbursement for methamphetamine investigations and deaths related to methamphetamine overdose.
I'll make a motion approving Resolution 2415, approving the State of Minnesota Joint Powers Agreement, Minnesota Anti-Methamphetamine Task Force Program.
Thank you, Tim.
I'll second it, and it's 2514?
Or 2514, yes.
All right. All righty. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
motion carries.
Sorry, 2515. You're
Okay.
right.
Thank you. The next item is a grant in the dollar amount of $11,700. What this grant does is help pay for our jail parenting with resilience program. And what the idea is behind the program is to teach good parenting skills. Also, it's kind of a combination of things where it deals with the inmates' time growing up and things that led to them to being in jail. And the point of it is to avoid that in the next generation. So helping the inmate learn good parenting skills that will help them prevent their children from ending up being inmates. And so it's really about just teaching good family skills, trying to prevent that generational incarceration.
Board's wishes.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2516.
All right, thank you, Shane.
I'll second that.
Oh, Jeff got it.
Second.
Yep. All right, any questions? If not, Lene, please.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you, Troy. And Tabitha, you'll be next.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The first item that I have before you is a resolution to accept a package of donations that we received from Jingle Bells Blessings. That was a total of 11 $50 Circle K gas gift cards, which valued at $550, and 20 Rainbow Rider bus passes valued at $500. These will be utilized to support various needs of individuals who come in contact with our agency based on agency discretion.
Have you always gotten donations from Jingle Bells?
To my knowledge, this is the first,
Oh.
and it was a delightful package left in
Yeah.
our Dropbox.
Yeah, nice. Because I don't recall it myself.
You know,
All
and
right.
there was some question about whether or not it was the local Jingle Bells Association. There was a sticker on it, but there was no additional information
Oh, all right.
involved in the drop-off.
Okay. Board's wishes.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 25-17.
Thank you, Charlie.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Jeff. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
motion carries.
The next item that I have before you is requesting approval and approval of me signing the Children's Mental Health Respite Grant. This contract would run through January of '25 through June of '27 to align with the state fiscal year. This is not a new grant for our agency. We've had this grant probably probably 6 years or so. This last year, they changed the way that they allocated the funding amounts. And so our funding amount had gone from around $4,000 to $7,000, depending on the year, up to, you can see now, $46,000 over that 2.5-year time span. So we're just looking for approval of the grant and also allowing me to sign off for that. And this will provide respite services for youth who are being supported by case management, typically within our agency through Children's Mental Health Case Management.
All right, board's wishes.
I'll make a motion to approve the CMH respite grant contract for 2025 through 2027.
All right, thank you, Tim.
I'll second it.
Shane? Thank you, Shane. Any other questions? Seeing none? Lene?
Kalina?
Yes.
Rapp?
Yes.
Way?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And the final item that I have for you this morning is just requesting approval to disseminate the funds on behalf of the Children's Mental Health Collaborative. So our agency serves as the fiscal host for the Children's Mental Health Collaborative, and these are the 3 final grants that were allocated out. I know that I've brought a few of them to you so far. These are the 3 finals. So Alexandria Public Schools Summer Challenge Program in the amount of $40,000 over 2 years. Osakis Public Schools Silver Streak Summer Support, they're requesting $12,432.80, and then Fostering Love Foster Closet, which provides some resources to families who are providing care, either through formal foster care or kinship care, assisting them with some individuals right at the time of placement or beyond.
All right, board's wishes.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the Children's Mental Health Collaborative Grant for 25-26.
Thank you, Shane.
Second.
Thank you, Charlie. Any other questions? Seeing none? Lene, please.
Rapp?
Yes.
Way?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Kalina?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Dave, you're right up.
It's fabulous. Good morning.
Good morning.
So a couple items for you this morning. The first item are some licenses. So if we can take them by type, landscaper excavator licenses, we recommended approval of those listed in your packet.
I'll make a motion to approve the excavator landscaper licenses.
Thank you, Tim.
I second that.
Thank you, Jeff. Any other questions? Seeing none, Lene, please.
Meyer?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Kalina?
Yes.
Rapp?
Yes.
Way?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And the next group would be the disposal hauler licenses. There are 5 of those listed in your packet, and we recommend approval of those 5.
Board's wishes.
Make a motion to approve the disposal hauler licenses.
Charlie, thank you.
I will second.
Tim, thank you. And any other questions? Lene, please.
Way?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Abstain.
Kalina?
Yes.
Rapp?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All righty.
And the next group would be sign maintenance. We recommend approval of the 2 companies listed.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the sign maintenance companies.
Thank you, Shane.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tim. Any other questions? Seeing none. Lene, please.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Kalina?
Yes.
Rapp?
Yes.
Way?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And lastly, I have a license request for a transfer station. We recommend approval.
Motion to approve the license for the transfer station.
Thank you, Charlie.
I second.
Thank you, Jeff. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Kalina?
Yes.
Rapp?
Yes.
Way?
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All righty.
The next couple items I have are from our Planning Advisory Commission last week. The first being a conditional use permit to allow a landscape business with outdoor storage. This is on 2 lots in Osakis Township near Smith Lake. Planning Commission reviewed this and had public testimony. It appeared that neighbors in the township were supportive with the conditions, so Planning Commission recommended approval of the conditional use permit with the conditions that are listed in your packet.
Board's wishes.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve with the conditions that are listed. There was 13 of them, is that what there was?
That is correct.
Okay.
I will second.
Thank you, Tim. Any other questions?
The question I have is, would you have in number 2, hours of operation shall be 7 to 6? You know, when you have a landscaping business and you're trying to take advantage of all hours of the day, and I would like to see it 7 to 7, and so they can take advantage of the hours of operation. That,
Mr. Chair, Mr. Way, that discussion actually came up at the Planning Commission meeting. In particular, the hours of operation that were in the conditions were 7 to 6, Monday through Friday, I believe. And the applicant was completely amenable to those conditions. One of the planning commissioners felt that it might be reasonable to allow him to work on Saturday, so the planning commission expanded it to that. But the comment I made to the planning commission at the meeting was, these conditions, including the hours of operation, have been applied to 4 or 5 different landscaping businesses that the county's issued permits to in the in the past. So, and none of them have objected. I don't have any issue with 7 p.m., but ultimately, I think where some of these are located, there is a time frame that you need to be aware of the neighboring property owners. So.
Yeah, Jeff, I agree with you. I mean, I think that it's a handicap if you can't work until sunset when you're on your own. I agree. It's like,
They gave him an extra day than
I know,
he asked
well,
for.
they did, but at the same time, I mean, I remember when we worked until the sun went down.
He isn't gonna, that's what I was gonna say, in July, it doesn't go down until 10 o'clock, so.
My comment to most of it is they're not going to do the work there. They're going to be on a site doing the work anyway. So all they're doing is bringing equipment back.
Yeah, but they can't load, I mean, can they, well, so you're saying they got a gate, they got to close the gate and all that stuff?
No.
Basically, what it says is, they shouldn't be there after 6 p.m. filling dump trucks with mulch or, working on equipment. It's a neighborhood area. Generally, what these landscapers have told us is they're up and out of there before 7 a.m. So there's not a lot of activity that goes on at this location. He's bringing his equipment back at the end of the day. And one of the comments that a planning commissioner made was, well, if you've got additional work on the site, leave your equipment out there and drive out there the next morning and start work right on site instead of, gathering at this location. So, but it is completely up to you, board, to make those decisions, and you have every right and ability to alter conditions at your will.
7 p.m.
Well, I'm just saying, being self-employed, I mean, many times, you didn't get back till sunset, 9 o'clock. And I just think when we restrict somebody that's self-employed, that he has to work around our hours, I find that being a handicap, I really do.
My other comment to that, Mr. Chair, is also it's in a residential area. It's not in a commercial area. If he's in a commercial area, he'd had a lot more leeway. So he's chosen to be in that area too.
I mean, I'm sure he accepted because I think he thought he had to, and didn't want to make a fuss. But I'm just saying, all I can say, in my opinion, if it gets to a point where somebody complains that he's there at 8 o'clock, I would reconsider looking at it. What, fair enough.
Well, our staff works Monday to Friday, 8 to 4:30, so
I know. That's right.
he's pretty safe.
Okay. Jeff, you had the question. Are you satisfied or are you,
I'm satisfied.
all right. All right. Anything else?
Was there a motion made?
Yes. Okay, Rapp,
Yep. Yes.
Way,
Yes,
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you, Dave.
You appreciate the conversation on these. So the next item is a conditional use permit application. You've seen this one before in a different location, but it's Frederick and Katie Marcus, CUP, to do a one-chair in-home beauty salon and massage business. The location that they've selected is over on the west side of Lake Winona, still in LeGrand Township. Planning Commission considered this. There was no question or comment from the public, and the township was supportive, so the Planning Commission recommended approval with the 3 conditions, and they're in your packet.
Board's wishes.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to allow Frederick and Katie Marcus the conditional use permit with the 3 conditions.
Thank you, Tim.
I second that.
Thank you, Jeff. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Way,
Yes,
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
motion carries.
And that's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
Not today.
All right, very good. We'll see you shortly.
All righty. Well, let's see here. We got Vicki Doling.
All right, good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I've got a resolution for a gambling permit for United Way. They want to conduct a raffle at Crooked Willow on April 11th.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2518 for a gambling permit for United Way raffle.
Thank you, Shane.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tim. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
yes,
motion carries.
The next resolution I bring before you is also for a gambling permit. The Minnesota Sheriff's Association seeking to conduct a raffle at Arrowwood Resort and Conference Center on December 9th of this year.
Board's wishes.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2519, Mr. Chair, for gambling.
Thank you, Charlie. I'll second it. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
yes,
Meyer,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
And then I have Amanda Topol, my licensing specialist in our office. She's here to answer any questions regarding this next item. Is for pre-approval of any of our upcoming liquor and beer license renewals. This is something we bring before you every year just to create some efficiency in our office to pre-approve renewals only. Anything new or name change, that type of thing, we will bring before you on an individual basis. But on the regular renewals, we will just run those by the county attorney and county sheriff with your prior approval. If everything checks out okay, background checks come back fine, then we'll go ahead and sign off and approve those, send them on to the state.
And just refresh my memory, are those, can those start any month or do they just have a certain month to start and that's where they start?
So the standard license period is July 1
July
to
1.
June 30th of the following year. We do have some seasonal licenses that are listed as indicated in the packet.
Board's wishes.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Charlie.
Approval license.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charlie.
I'll second.
And thank you, Tim. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes,
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Motion carries.
thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, by any chance, did Ryan Lubin make it here yet? Yes, Lee.
I don't think he's coming.
I can speak for Ryan.
All right,
Morning, Chair.
good morning.
So evidently, this was an item I just needed to bring forth, and so for the owner of the West Central Ag Air Incorporated, Ryan Lubin, it looks like traditionally he's come to the board for some action on a flight permit, and this has to do with the historical spraying of forest tent caterpillars, which has been a requested item from various Douglas County citizens. And in the past and going forward, he is proposing that he would spray as per FAA and MDA regulations. And he is planning to do the spraying during the weekdays between May 15th and June 15th. And the action he is asking for is permission to satisfy the FAA Part 137 regulations for a congested area flight permit.
How many lakes does that include, do you know?
Unfortunately, I'm not the subject matter expert. I am just bringing forth the message. Certainly that could be found out.
All right, and I guess Robin Trott is here. I guess I'd like you to just come up a second here and have a chair and tell us what you know about tent caterpillars. Morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Board. I had a discussion with Jeff last week. It did not involve coffee or anything else, but spraying for forest tent caterpillars, it has limited effectiveness. Now, that May to June timeframe is actually when you need to spray, because once the forest tent caterpillars get big enough, it doesn't kill them, it doesn't stop. The other thing is that state lands, all state lands in Minnesota, do not spray for forest tent caterpillars. These caterpillars turn into moths, moths fly. So it's ineffective. It can reduce the population this year if timed right. That's dependent on the weather. They don't read the calendar. It does not reduce the population for next year. So what you're doing is going out there and spraying. I can tell you in my role as an extension educator, there are a lot of people that are not at all supportive of broad pesticide use. There are some people on lake shores or whatever that want organic gardens, and now you've got overspray to get these forest tent caterpillars. It's really a short-term solution. I don't like them now. I can't go out and use my property because of all the forest tent caterpillars. They do cosmetic damage to the trees. They do not do permanent damage to the trees unless there's something else going on like disease or drought. The natural population cycles, I haven't seen a lot of forest tent caterpillars the past couple of years. I think drought impacted that. I don't know what the wet from last year is going to do. But what happens is that the forest tent caterpillars, they peak, they feed birds, they feed other animals, they do all of that, and then it declines, and so they go up, the predators go up, they go down, the natural predators go down. The other thing is that if you're using a BT or some sort of chemical like that, that's non-selective. It kills caterpillars. It doesn't just kill forest tent caterpillars. So think of the other caterpillars that might be out there. Yes, they do damage. Yes, they're a pain, but I'm talking monarchs. I'm talking things like that. The BT will kill caterpillars because what it does is they ingest it, they think they're full, they stop eating, and then they starve to death. So there's that. So beneficial insects, the monarchs, it can have impact on beneficial insects as well. It can have impact on pollinators. It can have impact on those good guys we want to see out there. So you were talking about water. lakes associations do this all the time because their people don't want forest tent caterpillars. I remember my teenage daughters going outside and it was dropping out of the trees down their shirts. They did not like it. They did not go outside. But if you're spraying along the lake shore, you're getting that BT or whatever chemical is being used into the water, which is something that we don't want to add to. You're spraying, what are the hours you're spraying, Monday through Friday? Was it early morning or?
They did not say that the time frame of the
Okay.
days.
Kids are outside playing, the planes are out there. And again, that's a public idea. You know, I'm not saying that these are unsafe chemicals or that we shouldn't do aerial spraying, period. But it's really a limited effectiveness when you spray for forest tent caterpillars. It's more a public perception. I hate that stuff out there. The trees look ugly. Yes, they will. They will have high periods and they will have low periods, and the spray is not going to affect that cycle at all. So that's what I wanted. It's an expensive thing with limited effectiveness that doesn't change what's there that next year.
Yes, and tent caterpillars have been around forever.
I remember when I was a little kid, and that was a long time ago, the tent caterpillars being there. They're going to be there. They will reduce the numbers. They have to be no more than an inch long. If they're over an inch long, that spray doesn't kill them. So it's really a timing thing. There are multiple cycles of these hatching, so you're not going to get all of them. It doesn't kill the trees on its own. And my opinion, based on the research I did after talking to Jeff, is that your return on investment, you're spending a lot of money for something that is minimally effective. I just wanted to bring that to you.
Well, I think you covered it pretty well there as to the downside of it. Like I said, we have a shortage of butterflies, especially monarchs anyway. So I'm pretty reluctant about it in the first place. But anyway, I guess you guys got any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, the BT, why doesn't the state?
Why doesn't the state spray?
Yeah.
Because it's an ineffective means of controlling future populations.
It's not an ineffective if the state would spray their land too. You just got done saying the reason they don't, that's why it's not effective on the lake shore.
No, it's ineffective because you're always going to have the moths. The moths fly. So if your neighbor doesn't spray and they have forest tent caterpillars, they go into that tent, they lay eggs, they hatch out as the caterpillars then go through that cycle.
understand.
So the state lands don't do it because they didn't find that it was a good use of their resources to spray, because spraying impacts what's there right now, a certain percentage, but it does not do anything to impacting what's going to be there next year. And so they just decided that they would rather use their money on other things rather than spraying for forest tent caterpillar, because ultimately they do cosmetic damage, they do not do permanent damage to the trees, and you're going to have years that are going to have, whether you spray or not, you're going to have years that have a lot of forest caterpillars and years that do not, because everybody in the state is not spraying. Every property in the state is not spraying for these. We cannot eradicate them, and they're always going to be there. So,
Well, if we're not going to spray, we can't eradicate them, that's for sure.
yeah. Well, but if you
When
do
it was
spray.
brought to us years ago, it was brought by lake associations and everything.
Oh, and the lake associations really love to spray because it does make sometimes at certain
Well,
times.
the lake associations usually like clean water and healthy water too.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not, I'm not trying to get in a fight with you, Robin.
I'm not trying to fight with you either,
And
Shirley.
I'm just trying to find out maybe we should spray more instead of less. But, we're feeding the world also because of how we spray, not just, I get it. You know what I mean?
I just wanted to bring the research
Managed
to
by
you.
smart people.
No, I know, and like I said,
agree.
there's definitely,
There's pros and
Yeah.
cons to all of it because all of it,
but, like I said, I know tent caterpillars have been around. I remember my dad talking about them in the 30s. He said they were so thick, he says, you couldn't walk without squashing them. And I've seen some pretty bad outbreaks myself. So,
Pretty dry then, too.
yeah, well, but I don't know what causes their ups and downs. Anyhow, I thank you, Robin, for your information and.
Thank you for giving me time, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty, I guess this is an action item, and you guys got anything else? All right,
Who's requesting this? Who is requesting?
well, it's the lake, isn't it the lake that's requesting it?
I only have the information available in your packet, which is on the screen, and it talks about Ryan Lubin
Yep.
looking for that flight permit.
And Mr. Chair, I had asked Ryan to be here today because I know there were questions that came up last year, so I'm not sure where he's at, but he was going to try to make it to answer some of those questions today.
I'm just asking, do we want to table this until he can make it? Because, I mean, I don't know how you could spray the lake and stop at a 100-foot lot, stop.
You can't.
And go over. And so the people that are concerned about being organic, they just can't do it. So, and I, you know, and again, I don't know what this BT is, but when it comes to getting into the lakes, I don't care what kind of spray you spray. If it gets into our lake, it ain't natural. So anyway, I say let's call the question. Lene, please.
I'm sorry, so the motion
Oh, you
is
didn't
to-
I thought there was a motion. Okay, let's make a motion.
Make a motion that we table it
Okay.
at the next meeting so we can hear from this gentleman, Ryan,
Okay,
and then we'll make a decision from there.
all righty. I'll second that. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. All righty, it's time for a break. We will take 6 minutes. How's that? Okay, we're going to bring the meeting back to order again here, and I want to recognize Leadership Alexandria. How many of you folks are here from Leadership Alexandria? Okay, okay. Did some take off, or is everybody here? I'm right here. Oh, there you are, there you are.
Class size is 24, and they are all encouraged to attend the county board meeting on their own schedule, but today is one of the days that we have that we would come, whoever was available.
All right, great, great. Glad to see you here, and welcome anytime. Okay, all right, will you tell them that we missed them? Sorry about that. All right, thank you. All righty. We are going to move to Lee. You're next. And Pat, the surveyor, county surveyor.
Good morning again, Chair and Board.
Yes.
Okay, the item I bring for action today is for the county to consider joining a quiet title action with the City of Alexandria and the Fair Board to resolve property overlaps on the eastern side of the land to be platted as the Douglas County Fairgrounds. This would clarify the title and streamline the process. Pat will be speaking in a moment, but it's recommended, the method that he has recommended to take care of this. The costs are anticipated to be $10,000 or less, but to be split equally amongst the parties, which there's 3 parties. And so the individual costs for each party could vary somewhat depending on the type of side work that needs to be done for this. To explain the situation, I think I'll turn it over to Pat, the county surveyor.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Well, the fairgrounds property is kind of an old property. There's a lot of descriptions that go back to the early 1900s. A lot of pieces have been pulled out of there already. Kind of a hodgepodge of things, a lot of overlaps and gaps. I know we did a survey on our property for the county. That one that's on the board right there right now. There's a overlap there on the east side that was caused when the subdivision of New Orleans Addition was created. That quarter corner on the north side of the property, there was a lost position for that the old county surveyor had set. But Gary Stevenson, my predecessor, had found the actual position where John Abercrombie had set the original, well, he had found the original corner and set a pipe there, and he found that pipe, and he certified to it. So everything's based on that new position there for that corner. So there is overlap on the east side. We're gonna deed those over to those property owners. Haven't gotten to that yet. We're pretty busy at the shop now, but hopefully soon. And we're looking to join the quiet title with the city and the Hague Association, just to kind of clean up the whole title there. It's kind of a hodgepodge, like I said, everything overlaps and gaps, and it's kind of just a remnant piece there. So I think it's a good idea to get it done, and then it will be a solid piece of property.
Yeah. So what would you say in percentage of an acre is that? Haven't you?
Our property, or?
Yeah, the ones that
County?
we are going to basically give back.
It's, I don't know, maybe a quarter of an acre.
Okay, that's what I
If
thought.
that.
That's what I thought.
The whole, I mean, with probably 3 or 4 pieces there, yeah, it's probably about a quarter of an acre, so.
Okay.
We've talked about that before already.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, okay. Well, there you go, guys. What do you think?
Will this eliminate all them issues now, I hope? I mean, this is the landowner.
Yeah, once it goes to court, I mean,
We're encumbering on the land, which if we argued if it was ours or theirs, it doesn't matter, but
yeah, once it goes to court and the judge signs it, it's done, so,
it's done.
yep. And it's,
And I know this hasn't got anything to do with this part, but are we done with the 3.6 acres and
I'm not sure which,
the island where the driveway is for the new building? All that's been straightened out before.
with the
The
new,
piece that we owned,
I'm drawing a blank, I'm not, I mean, there-
Mr. Chair, Charlie, aren't you talking about the piece by the racetrack?
yep,
Yeah, that has nothing to do with this.
I understand that, but it does and it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? When we bought all the land
Yeah,
from the Ag Association to clean up a whole bunch for us and them, there was,
yeah, we still own an outlot there on the north side of the Public Works property there, so,
we still own that.
yep.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
This should resolve all that for the people that lived on Cardinal Lane and over there. Okay.
So any other information before we call a question?
No.
Board's wishes.
I'll make a motion to approve the joint representation agreement.
Thank you, Tim.
I'll second.
Thank you, Shane. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks.
Okay, we got a new job classification evaluation.
Yeah, so part of our process for long-range planning involves looking at various positions within the county. And the long-range planning that came in, we did notice or identify 2 job classifications that would be new for the county in 2026. I have a little information about each one. The first one is a building inspector for Land and Resource Department. That one, in speaking to the department head, it's nothing imminent. It's a kind of a just-in-case planning. He is not looking to just automatically go ahead and add this position, but rather be prepared in case there's changes made where we need to have somebody. So he had put that on his long-range plan. And then the jail finance officer for law enforcement department. Again, not knowing a lot about this position, I would imagine that would be a conversation between the processes they'd be conducting between them and the finance department and how that would play out. So the goal really here is to, if these department heads have enough information to write up a job description or a classification questionnaire, to get that graded at least. So on long-range planning, on a long-range planning view, the board would at least be able to look at those potential costs for those positions. So that would be the only action right now, is just to get these drawn up. Should the department heads wish to move forward with them and get a number for the budget for 2026.
I just have a question, and that is that, here, we're lumping everything together on this thing here, and I got a problem with the building inspector because of what it's gonna cost. And I'll be darned if I would see or want to see any self-employed business or business have to stop work because they can't get an inspection. And there's a lot of holidays that get taken off by the county. And I have an issue with that.
I could understand that. I think the thinking was if something were to change in our structure or the laws or legislatively, that we would be prepared to have that position ready to go. And I don't know if Dave Rush is still here.
No, he left.
He would know more information, but that
I've
is,
talked to Dave about that same thing. I said, no, self-employed people just don't work 37 and a half hours and get a week for it. They got to work longer. I know I did, and I know a lot of other people do. And again, to me, when you get your hands tied up because you don't dare do something for an inspection, no, I just think that's, something's not right there. And what it was gonna cost, what's gonna cost?
Mr. Chair, I think I know where Dave is going with this.
Okay.
It's when we give variances and conditional use permits, he wants somebody to follow up on this to make sure it's been done correctly. Because right now, we don't have a building inspector that inspects buildings. That's the city. We're out of the two-mile radius, there is no building inspector.
So is that for commercial only, or would that be for ag
That would
too?
be for any type of variance or conditional use permit to follow up on things that people have done illegally without a permit and stuff. But I think if Dave was here, that's what he would tell you, that it's to go back and check out when people get a conditional use permit that they're following the rules, because we've gone out to do variances on stuff and found out that the first variance they had, they never did correctly. And then the second variance they're applying for was totally wrong because of where they had put the first building with the variance.
Okay.
So I think that's basically what he wants to do, is to follow up on some
Okay.
of these conditional use and variances we've
I
given.
can understand that, conditional use and variances, I can understand that, but like when it comes to agriculture, I don't think that has to be involved in this. I really don't. If you want to put a lean-to on your barn, I don't, that's your baby. I don't think that's anybody else's problem.
Well, you aren't gonna have to get a variance or conditional use permit. You just have to get a permit, which nobody will come and look at because you don't have a conditional use or a variance.
Okay.
That's the ones that we're having problems with in planning and zoning, is the conditional use permits and the variances.
And I get that, but, again, what's it gonna cost? How much is it gonna cost to put somebody out there doing these inspections?
That's what we're gonna find out when we do this job
All right.
classification.
Okay.
Part of that, it was also, what Mr. Rush had told me, it was a little bit about enforcement on, because we have nobody being the cop. We make all kinds, we just got done approving 2 today with 13 conditions. There's nobody checking the conditions, Jerry, and you know that.
I get it.
Well, I mean, and I don't think, I know what you don't like. You don't like the term building inspector. I get it.
I get it. Yep.
And the fact is, we've already given them rules that they have to live with, but nobody checks to find out. And that's, I know because that issue comes up with neighbor to neighbor then. When one gets a permit, the other one doesn't, and does it anyway.
Mr. Chair, as he writes this up, we can take a look at it anyways. We're not approving anything today just for him to write it up.
Find
Maybe
out
you
what it
change
would
the
cost.
title to compliance officer or something like that instead of worrying about a building inspector. Because I agree with you, we don't need a building inspector, can't come to work on President's Day, and the guy's working and now he's shut down for a day.
No.
That we
Building
can't
code
have.
is the same statewide.
Exactly.
If you're in the city limits out in the middle of nowhere, it's
Good
all the
point.
same.
So maybe that's just a clarification on the title.
definitely, there's probably a long ways to go on this.
Right.
It's just no sense working on it if we knew
No,
it was shut
it's
down.
just you writing it up.
All right.
So with that all being said, I make a motion, we take a look at that.
Okay.
I'll second,
At least take a look at the cost.
All right.
and I'll second that.
Any other questions?
The
Nope.
other thing,
Okay.
we're approving both of these, the finance officer as well for the jail.
We're approving just that we can send it in to have it evaluated. We'd use an outside entity called David Drown and Associates. So we're just approving the cost that they would charge us to do a grade classification and get a cost. That's
Gotcha.
it, for budgetary reasons only.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lee.
Doesn't mean we're gonna do any of this. Just check out.
All righty. Lene?
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes,
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right. Yes, Tim.
Good morning.
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 So we opened some bids last week for paving. I've got the bid summary in your packet. If you guys are interested in the full abstract, I've got those available here too. Two jobs. The first one that we opened was SAP 021608, 024, and 025. So that's our paving out on County Road 8. Central Specialties was our low bid with that, $4,265,748.66. I'd make the recommendation that we award this contract to Central Specialties.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to award it to Central Specialties.
Second.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Charlie. Any other questions? If none, Heather, or Lene, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes,
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. The next bid that we opened up was for SAP 021604-019 and 609018. So it's paving on County Road 4, paving on County Road 9 in Nelson. Once again, the summary of bids is sitting in your packet. I have the full abstract if you'd like to see that. Central Specialties is our low bidder on that one as well. The amount of $1,805,714.26. So I'd make the recommendation that we award this to Central Specialties.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Charlie, thank you.
I'll second.
Tim, seconds it. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Kalina,
Yes,
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. The next item that I had is our, excuse me, our annual abstract design materials quotes. So with this one, Sign Solutions out of Fargo came in our low bidder, $14,372.89. Make the
I'd make a motion that we award the bid to Sign Solution.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Shane. Any other questions?
yeah, Mr. Chair, is that the same one we had last year?
I think last year it was either Newman or M&R Sign, but we've had the same three bidders every year. I think we had them 3 years ago.
The
Sign
quality of work is, okay, okay.
Lene, please.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes,
motion carries.
Thank you. The next item that I have is a resolution to accept a donation. We received $5,400 from Pheasants Forever for doing some seeding of native prairie grass out at the Runestone Park. A very generous donation.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-20 from Pheasants Forever.
Thank you, Tim.
A second.
Thank you, Jeff. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes,
Rapp,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. The next item that we have is to approve the permit for an event out in the county, Brophy Park. I think Brad's back there. And if he can answer any other questions that you have, but this is for the Summer Sounds by Brophy. Looks like July 15, 22, 29, and August 5th.
All right. Any questions before we get going any further? Brad, you have anything to say?
Nope, same kind of concept as the last 2 years with the Summer Sounds. Just looking for approval so they can continue to move ahead with their planning.
Okay. Board's wishes.
I'll make a motion to approve Summer Sounds by Brophy.
Thank you, Tim.
And I second that.
And thank you, Jeff. Anything else? Lene, please.
Meyer,
Abstain.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. The next item that we have is a resolution to support the federal recreational trails application. And Brad can explain this one a little bit better as well.
Yeah, so the Mountain Bike Club is, the last few years, they've been wanting to get a pump track out at Brophy Park, which is what, it's mainly for kids, but people use it, and it's designed like an up and down rollers that you don't have to ride you don't pedal, you pump with your body to get you rolling across it. They received a donation of $50,000 this fall for Brophy Park amenity upgrades, and they would like to apply for this grant. So they would provide the matching. We would be the bank, basically. We'd take the $50,000 donation if it was approved, and then we would oversee the construction. The one condition I had that we wrote into this grant was that it would be a portable system, so this will be built, metal frame, wood decking. So there's no dirt involved, it'll just be wood that they ride on, and there'll be pockets in it for forks, so we can forklift it in sections out of the way. So if we want to put it, on the hockey rink in the summertime, that's fine, but when we have events, we're gonna fork it and move it out of the way, so we can park cars there and then bring it back. That'd be how that would get moved around. Then we could move it anywhere in the park that we wanted to deem fit. We're limited on space out there, so it's hard to add a permanent amenity at this point.
Could we rent this out during Brophy Sounds, or Sounds?
Yeah.
We'd have to have the bikes, so.
Well, we could figure out a spot to put it, and that's why I wanted it to be portable.
We'll
'cause
run
I
that
think,
by Hartman here, we'll see.
yeah, yes.
Okay,
How big is it?
It'll depend on the budget that they get on the grant, but it won't be huge. I would expect it'd probably fit inside this room in a circle, an oval.
And it just, the big
Then you just roll around it. It's really popular with young kids, and if you put it by the playground, it will get used.
okay.
So, Mr. Chair, that'll be all pre-constructed when it comes? You just
Yep.
bolt it together?
Yep, the bike club would put the decking on it. They would be responsible for that, and we would be responsible then for moving it around. But no cost otherwise to the county.
Does it have like fencing on the sides or no?
No, it doesn't get very high off the ground.
okay.
So their roller would probably be
Oh, yeah.
about that high, just enough to get your momentum, and they just kind of keep rolling through it.
All right, all right.
So it'd be basically like a old-time rail car then,
was gonna
where you
say.
pump the
Yeah.
handles?
Yeah, that's why how the name came Pump Track, yep.
So is that gonna sit on rails then? Would it, or just be a flat surface?
It'd be a flat surface, and then we'd just fork into it and pick it up.
Julie's got some.
Would there be some kind of sides so that they don't go off?
But it isn't very high off the
Oh.
ground, so it meets those standards.
Okay.
They don't need much to get your momentum rolling.
Okay.
All right. Well, board's wishes.
Jerry, Julie's got some.
Oh, Julie, you got a question?
I'm just curious, in the event of a high wind event, what is our liability or the problem of it blowing and
It'll be staked down to the ground. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Can't be any worse than any plane
All right.
and stuff.
Yeah, no. Okay, when,
Is this
Make a
dependent
motion
on
to
the
approve
grant?
Resolution 25-21.
Yes.
Okay.
Dependent on the grant. If they don't get the grant, they wouldn't give us the $50,000 donation. It'd just be, they'd keep it till they figure out another plan for use of that money.
all righty. I don't see a motion yet.
I did, I made a motion.
Well, you made a motion.
To approve Resolution 25-21, isn't it?
Okay, Charlie, thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tim. Any other questions? Lene, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Brad. Next item that we have, It's a little background here. We advertised, we interviewed for our E911 coordinator. This has been vacant since November, I believe. We found a pretty good candidate. We went and we made the offer step one, which is what we've been authorized to do. Our candidate has turned around and countered that offer. He'd like to start at step two. He has plenty of experience doing this exact type of work in other counties. So with his experience, his background, his qualifications, it's actually pretty reasonable request that he's asking. And I'm just looking for that approval to go ahead and make that offer or accept his counter.
And we had 7 applications?
Yes.
Yep. That's pretty good. Board's wishes.
I'll make a motion to approve hiring for GIS at step 2.
Thank you, Charlie. Or Tim.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Shane. Any other questions?
When,
Go ahead.
when can he start?
March 5th.
March 5th.
Okay. Lene, please.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item that we have is to approve a contract for GIS migration. So I have Pat up here because when I start explaining this stuff, he's going to shake his head and tell you that I'm telling you wrong. So it's just easier to let him explain it.
We had 2 companies that we got bids for. Panda Consulting was the lowest bid. They actually helped us set up our parcel fabric to start out with, so we're well versed with them, and we are happy that we got the low bid with them. So we do have to do this because our software is getting upgraded from ArcMap to ArcPro, which might not mean anything to you, but it's just a version of the software that we use for doing our GIS maps. So, and they won't be maintaining the ArcMap anymore.
So, Mr. Chair, you got a total budget for the project at 15,000. That should cover everything.
Yes.
And that will be taken out of the recorder's fund, so.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Charlie.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tim. Any other questions? Seeing none, Lene, please.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Next, we got some ditch special assessments. So I think Tom's on his way to come talk to you about drainage.
I'm bringing to you some changes that really should be made on 4 ditches: County Ditch 5, County Ditch 11, County Ditch 13, and County Ditch 14. And I'm bringing you these as a result of petitions for outlet that were granted on 2 of these. First of all, the benefits currently being used don't represent the original viewers' benefits assigned when these were originally created. They're a portion of the viewers' benefits. Typically, they're the auditor's assessment statement when the original ditch was constructed, but it didn't represent 100% of the benefits. So like on County Ditch 5, we're utilizing probably $1,877 of the total benefits. The original benefits assigned by the viewers was $8,128. The other thing I found out when I looked at these was that we have people that aren't paying and should be paying, and some that are paying and shouldn't be paying. So we want to correct these errors and basically enter in the correct benefits for all the parcels, bringing them up to what the viewers assigned. And in so doing, we want to adjust the viewers, or the special assessment report to represent these changes. I provided you a recommendation, which is roughly $500 less than what we originally set back in December. But it changes some of the assessment rates. Where am I at here? I didn't
Only one of them has a loan balance, Tom?
What was that?
And just ditch 5 is the only one with a loan balance?
With a low estimated balance, but initially we had some of these at 200% that we were levying. If we did that with the change in benefits, that would be an extreme amount on their taxes. So what we're doing is adjusting the assessment rate to represent very closely to what we had set in December. And what I presented to you there, the $166,548 is roughly $500 less than what we set in December. But it does correct the benefits assigned to these ditches to represent what was actually set by the viewers.
And are the owners, are they good with this, or is there complaints?
Well, let me put it this way. Right now, we have people that are paying, okay, right now you have some that are paying 80%, and others are paying 15% of what the benefit is.
Okay.
Because we levy we put a levy on their property, and if they have $100 of benefits, we levy 25%, they're gonna pay $25. Right now, we've got individuals that are only being levied on 15% of that $100, whereas others are being charged 80% of that $100. And we want to get everybody on the same percentage. And now with the people that petition for a benefit outlet, we set a benefit for them, and they're at 100%.
Yeah.
Whereas other people are at 24%.
Do they have any ability to go back to collect? Once we do this?
Collect on the ones that weren't paying?
The ones that were paying
Too
that
much.
shouldn't have been. And
Most of the time, those are small assessments, and I don't know where, I don't know.
I've seen that. I looked at this
Right.
before.
I don't know where that came, it possibly came into effect through a property split.
I'm guessing. Vicky would probably help too with that. I don't know. I'm guessing that's probably when it happened. But if it'd be great, it needs to be done.
It needs to be done. The other alternative is
Irregardless of what happens.
The other alternative is to do a redetermination of benefits.
That would be the other, if we got into a big contest here, that would have to be done in every, them 4 ditches, and just do a redetermination and then go from there. But
Because
that's a big expense. to
Yes,
the
and I did talk
work
to the
system.
attorney before I talked to Vicky on this.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Because we are obligated to ensure that we are properly assessing the right property.
Right, that's what I mean. I know what well,
And,
we'll be hanging out there too with you, so.
and the taxpayer has
Yeah.
the ability to appeal his taxes.
Correct.
If they don't appeal their taxes, we can't.
Right.
So it's a new formula, so to speak.
It's a correct formula, put it that way.
Correction formula, okay.
And that can happen though,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of the changes in
Yeah.
outlet, like you said. I mean, it can change over the 120 years or 110
Right,
years.
when you go back to a 1910 viewers report,
Yeah.
And they put it on a 40-acre tract, and in all the property splits that have occurred since then,
Yeah,
yes,
that's what we talked
There
about
isn't
earlier. There can be
drastic changes, but what it does is it gets everybody on the same page, so to say, and based off what the viewers originally set. And in so doing that, if these get entered into the taxes, we need to change this so we aren't hitting them, because we're going from, like I said, on County Ditch 5, we've got, okay, this shows the correct one, but originally it was $1,877, and we're going to $8,128.
Yeah.
And if we had a 200% levy, yeah. So what we're recommending here is a levy that reflects what was put down in December. Very close.
Okay. Board's wishes.
One other question I have is just, obviously you've gone through all of them, I would guess.
I've gone through these four.
Okay,
These four, two of them were ones that we had petitioned for outlets.
okay.
That was the reasoning for these. And then when I got to be looking at the other two, I said, yeah, we should just as well do them too. Because they've had petitions for outlet in the last number of years. This corrects some issues. And yes, if we're not going to do a redetermination of benefits, the rest of the system should be looked at as well, except for those that have had redeterminations done.
If they've been done, then it should have been done.
Yes.
Okay, and that's very reasonable, and I'll make that motion, that we approve the updated ditch special assessment.
Thank you, Charlie.
I second that.
And thank you, Jeff. Any other questions? Lene?
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
motion carries.
How did you come out on that trailer?
We just have to do a redetermination, and then it's gonna cost us.
We are, we're gonna put the old one on K-bid. We looked at all of the other options that are out there. Towmaster's not doing anything different.
There's
And
only
everything
one
else
with a loan
that's
balance.
on state bid is at like
So it
20
isn't-
grand.
Yeah.
So you're looking at Minnesota,
Control, their
Yeah.
assessments
Okay.
aren't very high.
but you gotta wait till you see what you get for this one, right?
Any other questions?
I think
Might be
good.
more.
Anybody got a question? Anything? Nope. We're clear. We're good. All right, Jill. Jill, you are next.
Good morning. I have
Morning.
2 items for you today. The first is just looking for a motion to approve bills totaling $6,642,993.03. Since we last met, we only had one meeting this month, and we had December tax settlement, we had bond and interest payments, and then we also had road distributions that went out to the different municipalities.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Thank you, Shane.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tim. Any other questions? If none, Lene, please.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, the second item I have, so one of our employees that's been here for 6+ years is going to be moving out of state. So she has officially turned in her notice. And we have posted that position internally only. So my initial request is just to allow us to hire with overlap. Technically, her last day is March 4th, which is only like 2.5 weeks. But if possible, since this is an internal applicant only, the position closes at noon today, wondering if you would be okay with me filling that retro to 2/16, which would be this last Sunday for the start of a pay period. And then, doing the hiring for the position that would potentially open up.
Mr. Chair, so have you got anybody from within interested?
I believe we have one applicant that has applied.
Okay. Well, I will make the motion for the finance position to be hired with overlap.
Second.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Charlie. Any other questions? If none, Lene, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you very much.
All righty. Agenda items for the joint city/county meeting on March 4th, 2025, we need action on.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to add, I received, I think we all did, from Bill about the reconstruction on Broadway. Maybe we can touch base on that a little bit. They're going to do from, 8th Avenue to 18.
8th to 18th. Mr. Erickson can probably help us. He was at that meeting, I understand.
So it might be a good time to discuss that a little bit.
All right.
Any more on cannabis?
A lot.
Is that enough? Beat it to death?
We can,
I wrote a poem on it. Okay, we need action on that city meeting.
no, we need other items.
Other items.
Oh, other items, but
What
okay.
else you want to talk to?
Oh, I see, okay,
They're
well.
coming here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I guess we're gonna just throw cannabis out there because we've talked about that.
Right.
And,
Well, isn't that what we're using, what we,
Yeah,
at our
yeah.
task force
Right,
meeting
right.
is, if they get to the 4, then we're done as
Yeah.
far as the county is concerned, if they get 4.
I mean, I don't have any other thing, anything
Well, we
else.
can't
myself.
talk about the fairgrounds property. 'cause
No,
that got
that's a done
settled.
deal. Yes.
You want to talk about interchange off of I-94?
Yeah, at the wave rest there or
At the-
on
I'd like to see it at 17.
on Gene
And
Barnum?
that's, probably we need to bring that up.
Okay, that's a
Put that
good
on
one.
there.
That's a good one. Yep.
You can build a bridge across Bergen,
Hmm.
right across Shane's
50th
place.
Avenue, yeah, right over to my place. Perfect.
Your taxes are gonna go up. Okay, anything else here? All right. I mean,
That's an interesting one, because
mean, aren't-
Alec Township is interested in that,
okay,
because of that 50th Avenue
Okay.
connection. Yeah. Hudson, too.
well, they're gonna have some things to talk about as well,
So,
so.
correct. We can always add to it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, with that, we still need action.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda items for joint city-county meeting on March 4th.
All right, thank you, Tim.
A second.
And thank you, Jeff. Anything else? Lene, please.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, that brings us up to per diem time.
Okay, I guess I'm first. On the 7th, we had a commissioner meeting. On the 10th, we had a planning and zoning cannabis meeting, talked about setbacks and where they can and can't be located. The 14th, we had JD2 hearing at Public Works. On the 16th, we had a meeting at West Central Juvenile Detention in Moorhead, and they're looking at a grant from the state to help put up another building, which would house people who don't need to be in the detention center. And then on the 17th, at a hospital board meeting, 21st commissioner meeting, 21st fair board meeting. And on the 27th, I had Lakeland Mental Health in Fergus Falls. They pay mileage and per diem. Then on the 31st, had planning and zoning viewings. Then on the 31st, I also had flood board meeting at 1 o'clock at Public Works. And then on the February 3rd, I had planning and zoning, cannabis meeting again. We pretty much got it all nailed down on the setbacks and everything. And then on the 4th, I went to dog encounter training at Public Works. It was a very good presentation. Then on the 4th, drainage conference at Arrowwood. On the 5th, drainage conference at Arrowwood. 6th was a budget meeting. On the 11th, planning and zoning at the courthouse. And then on the 13th, I had an opioid meeting at Alec Clinic.
All righty, thank you, Tim. Charlie?
Okay, January I have there, okay. Now, I came to the oath to watch Jeff and Jerry get swore in, or swore at, or whatever, and on the 7th, the county meeting. On the 8th, we had our local government coordination committee at City Hall. One of the projects there, we're talking about moving the replica stone from one of the city parks for the rune stone out next to Big Ole downtown. You'll see more and hear more about that. We can talk about that next meeting also, probably with the city involved. 9th, Rainbow Rider. 13th, Horizon Public Health. 14th was JD2 meeting for ditch meeting. 15th, Executive Committee for the hospital. 16th, Solid Waste. 17th, the Hospital Board. 21st, regular commissioners meeting. 22nd, the Special Committee of the hospital. 27th, annual meeting, the CPT in Morris. 28th, the hospital safety meeting, 7 a.m. at the hospital. At 29th, the Armor meeting is Zoomed, St. Cloud City Hall normally. On the 30th, hospital finance. And then on the 31st, the Rainbow Rider special meeting. We are going to bids again on our garage out here, hoping to ever get that done. Because of the last couple of bids, they didn't qualify with the federal government's requirements on minority ownership. Not enough, highest enough percentage involved in the project. So we got to rebid the project again.
Can you get rid of the federal money?
Well, then they probably get rid of the Rainbow Rider, I'm afraid. That's like about 85% of the project, the operations.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So that'll be.
All right, thank you, Charlie. And that leaves me up next. So I go back to December 19th. 1-2 had a PIO meeting, 1-6 was sworn in, and 1-7 regular meeting, 1-7 special meeting, 1-9 Prime West, 1-13 Horizon, 1-14 JD2, 1-15 Department Head meeting, 1-15 PIO meeting, 1-16 Land and Records, 1-17 Hospital Board, 1-20 Radio, 1-21 regular meeting, and 1-21 Sauk River Watershed. 1-27 AMC Zoom, and 1-28 was road update with Tim Erickson. 1-27 a cannabis meeting. 1-29 Osaka School Board bond. They talked about the bond. I went to that meeting. 2-3 MRC Zoom. 2-4 drainage. 2-5 drainage. 2-6 Prime West. 2-7 food, pool, and lodging. 2-10 Horizon. 2-13 cannabis meeting, and 2-14 PIO. That concludes mine. And Shane.
Okay, on the 13th of January, we had our monthly Horizon meeting. On the 15th, we had the PIO meeting. On the 16th, that was my first Pope Douglas Solid Waste meeting. Interesting. On the 16th, library. 17th, it was Alamere Health. On the 21st was our county board bi-monthly meeting. 22nd was Ag Extension meeting. Sharing hands on the 3rd of February. On the 5th, Department Head meeting. I was at the Drainage Conference at Arrowwood. And then on the 6th, Prime West meeting. On the 7th, Library meeting, and then LGC on the 12th.
All right, thank you, Shane. And that leaves Jeff.
Okay, on the 7th at the regular board meeting, and the 9th of January, the Rainbow Rider, the monthly board meeting. The 10th at the Pomme de Terre Joint Powers Board, virtual from home. Soil and Water Conservation District, their monthly board meeting. The Douglas County Water Quality Legacy Fund at the Public Works on the 15th. Hospital Board meeting on the 17th. And then again, the 21st is the regular board meeting. And then I attended the AMT Government 101 Conference, and that was from January 22nd to the 24th, the 3 days. And then the 28th with the coffee with the Public Works. And then the 28th, again, West Central Community Action, they pay mileage. And that was the day that the federal funding, when they put a freeze on that, and it was kind of a very interesting day. They didn't know if they were going to have to lay off some of the staff at Head Start, and so as far as I know, they opened that up, so they still got their jobs, and the Head Start programs are still going, so thank God for that. The AIS Task Force Committee on the 29th, and then again, Rainbow Rider, the emergency meeting concerning the building along with Charlie on the 31st. And then 3rd of February is the MRC meeting virtual from the county boardroom. And then February 5th to the 6th is the AMC Drainage Conference at Arrowwood. The 7th is the Pope and Douglas Food and Lodging Pool in Glenwood. And then I didn't put down right away the swearing-in ceremony on the 6th. And then also the dog encounter on the 4th, held at the Public Works, and very good information. I recommend having this gentleman back again. So,
All righty, thank you, Jeff. Well, I only saw one correction, and I guess we need a motion to approve as corrected.
Jerry, I was gonna bring one thing up.
Okay,
That dog encounter training,
Yep.
I didn't qualify for that because I had another meeting the same day.
oh,
But Jeff did, and Jeff and I were at that, and yeah, like Jeff said, it's very. I
okay,
think
well,
he-
that's something we should maybe try to get another,
Yeah, but I just wondering, would he get a per diem or not? We'd have to approve that for a per diem. Because that was the only meeting you had that day, wasn't it?
yeah, that was the only meeting. There was a drainage conference, but that was just a social hour that day. But it's up to you guys, the board, if that was per diem or not. But I just put down the mileage, so I'm okay with either.
Okay.
well, it's your call. All right. Well,
I'll make a motion that he should get paid for the dog encounter training.
all right,
I'll second it.
okay, we got that. And any other questions, Lene?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes,
Meyer,
Yes.
motion carries.
All righty. And with that, we need an approval for everything. That's good?
I'll make a motion to approve the per diems.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Charlie. Lene, please.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
motion carries.
All righty. With that, any items from the floor? You get a 3-minute shot at that microphone if you want it. Anybody? I don't see anybody. Okay. Then we need an adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Charlie.
I second that.
Thank you, Jeff. Lene, please.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Motion carries.
All righty. Thanks, everybody, for showing up today. 5-minute break.
Ooh, I need more coffee. I'll see what's left. You gonna make some more? Yeah. You gonna make some more? You probably saw Ryan's here ready to go.